And we're live. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday night? Wednesday night, 7:30, guys. As we let y'all know, we were gonna have Mayor Rolando Salinas joining us. The first time since he's won his campaign as mayor. And I hope you guys are staying dry out there in Eagle Pass. We had a sudden storm that none of us saw us coming. I don't know if Eagle Pass is the only city, but we have sunshine and rain all at the same time. So that's something unique about Eagle Pass, right, guys? But thank you for joining in tonight. Tonight we got a special interview. Um, Mayor Rolando Salinas, recently elected mayor for City of Eagle Pass. Guys, it was a hard fought race, and we had Mayor Salinas, new mayor coming in, and we were trying to, as always, the mayors are very busy. The former mayor couldn't join us in an interview, and Mr. Salinas, Mayor Salinas now, has always accommodated and helped us out and appeared so viewers of ours can hear what he has to say about some of the issues that have been brought up by our viewers and the people that follow us in our news regularly. And so we really appreciate that. We won't wait, make you guys wait any longer. We'll go ahead and bring him out. Our new mayor, Mayor Rolando Salinas. Mayor, how you doing tonight?
Good evening, Isaac, and good evening to the viewers of the Rising Texan. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. First of all, as I was telling everybody, we do appreciate the time you take to come on, and it's much appreciated. I know there isn't that many people brave enough to come on and take on some of the issues, on a live without knowing what we're going to ask you. So, as uncomfortable that may be, again, as we always have, we thank you and we give you props for taking time and coming out and talking with us about some issues that not only we have but the viewers out there that have contacted us.
Absolutely, man. You know what? I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your viewers. And anytime I can speak to the constituents and just let them know what's going on with the city, that's always good because we want to make sure that we have an informed public. So that's always very important to me. So thanks for inviting me on your show. And I'm looking forward to some of your questions.
No, absolutely. I think the last time we saw you was at the runoff election, and we were kind of, hey, hope
Hey,
you're not avoiding us, Mayor Salinas, because
no, man. No, trust me, we've been very busy. We're working on a lot of projects. Just today, we had the opportunity to meet with the new mayor-elect of Piedras Negras, Norma Treviño. She'll be taking office, I believe, January 1st. So it was very important for us to meet with her to let her know that Eagle Pass is ready to work with the city of Piedras Negras, our sister city. Like, our economies depend on each other. If Eagle Pass does good, so does Piedras, and vice versa. So we have had a lot of meetings. We also had a 5:30 meeting today with a tournament manager that's going to play the first softball tournament at our new sports complex. Tomorrow is a big day for Eagle Pass. We have the ribbon cutting for the new Patsy Wynn sports complex. So there's good things coming up. I'm always willing to come to your show. So if it takes a day or two or some time, it's because all the scheduled events that we have.
No problem. And like I said, we appreciate it. What time is that ribbon cutting, just for the public, so they can know if they want to attend?
Sure. So the gates will be open at 6:30 tomorrow, and the ceremony should start at 7. So we kind of wanted to start at 7. That way, if it's hot outside, we kind of get it a little cool. But we will be opening the gates at 6:30, and the public is welcome to join us there at the ribbon cutting for the new sports complex. It's going to be great for the community. It's a beautiful complex. It'll be available to the people of Eagle Pass, and also it should be bringing in a lot of people from out of town, people that do private tournaments from out of town. So it should boost the economy. That's what we want. We want our people locally to enjoy it, and if it helps the economy, even better.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people, what they may not understand, is that it's not necessarily just boosting in the economy and getting people to go to these tournaments. It's actually helping as far as filling up the hotels, filling up the restaurants, convenience stores, Walmart, HEB, and many aspects of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you an example. This tournament, we have a tournament operator that wants to bring 40 teams to play in a softball tournament. So if these teams, when they come to Eagle Pass, they stay overnight, and like you said, they'll rent our hotel rooms, they'll go eat at our local restaurants, they'll shop at our local stores, they'll pump gas at our local convenience stores. So the money stays in Eagle Pass, gives Eagle Pass a boost, and at the same time our people can also play there. So I'm a big proponent of quality of life, and improving the quality of life for Eagle Pass. There's that old saying, Isaac, that there's nothing to do in Eagle Pass.
Yeah.
So in
That's
order
what we
for us,
grew up with.
right, so we want to make sure that we improve that. Still, we have to be responsible, of course, with our money, but we do want to improve Eagle Pass. We want to make sure that we're attracting also professionals and people that want to come back here and get employed here locally. It's very important.
No, absolutely, and I think you kind of touched on one of the first questions that we were talking about or that we wanted to ask is that what do you guys have going on or in the city and everything. But now that we're sticking with the theme of bringing people from the outside, now sports is a big thing. I understand that. Now, what are we doing as far as culture? I know that the arts and culture, you guys have something going downtown, and that's great. Is there any more ideas that we have coming forward, or any projects that we have in the near future that can accommodate those? Because I mean, not everybody can be athletes, of course, right? So we want to go ahead and encompass, everybody to have their spot or their place here in Eagle Pass, Maverick County.
Absolutely. And that's another area that we want to focus on is entertainment. And we also want to highlight our local artists. There's a lot of people, artists, musicians, and we want to make sure that we promote that. We do have the Eagle Pass Art Center in downtown Eagle Pass. That's been great. We've been able to host different events. I know that we've had art from local artists that are showcasing their work there at the art center, so that's very important. Okay. And the Economic Development Department of Eagle Pass has sponsored several events at that building, and the support from the community has been there. People want to go out and see, hear some good music coming up. I know that we have a jazz event where we have a jazz band that's going to be playing. So all that promotes the arts. That's very important. I'd like to see even more of that. I'd like to see a museum in the future here in Eagle Pass. I'd like to see even more people come out and feature their art, because we have a lot of talented people in Eagle Pass. And you're right, it's not just sports. We want to make sure that everybody here has an opportunity to showcase their talents.
No, yeah, absolutely, and that's great news. I mean, I know there's been a lot of investment with the complex and everything for sports, and I guess I was kind of in between with that because it was a big investment, and but yes, I do think that we have a lot of talent here, athletic ability. Just the very few that do make it, they make it because they're top tier and this and that. But there's a lot of them that maybe with the right tools in place, the right promotion or building this kind of field will bring scouts in as well with these tournaments to have eyes on some of these people that may not be the outstanding star but have the potential. So we really appreciate that, of course.
Yeah.
Now,
Sorry to. And also these things, fields, and even like the skate park, these activities, they build character, they build camaraderie with the other people. So it's good. It's good to have sports and organized things for especially for our youth.
No, absolutely. I think both of us can kind of relate to that. Back to
Yeah,
the, football. You were a year older than me, but we played
that's
on the
right.
same football team a couple of years, and we're teammates. Believe we even started on the same offensive line for a year, maybe
We
two,
did.
right?
We
But
did.
right,
That's news right here. Isaac Reese was an offensive in the offensive line.
yeah,
Yeah,
tight end. All right, tight end. I was tight end, but we know that
yeah.
here in New
There we
Pass,
go.
they're to block, not
Yeah.
not to catch passes, right?
I'll never forget that, Isaac. I tell everybody, I played football since 7th through 12th grade. I mean, I was a role player, but the lessons that you get from playing in a team and the dedication, and that always stays with me.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, now you guys just recently, as much as last week, as recently as last week, completed your council. So your council right
Yes.
now for the next, I believe, what, 2 years is complete, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. For the next 2 years, you have your council full. You know who's going to be there. What? How do you feel about it? I mean, Miss Monica Cruz just came in. Um, she seems like a good candidate. I believe both would have been good candidates.
Sure.
Miss Monica Cruz, I am intrigued. I will say personally, for the economic development potential that she brings to the table, having done community development and real estate and everything for years. I don't think we've had as decorated of a realtor on the city council, at least from when far back as I can remember. So that's one of the things I'm excited about, as far as her coming into the council, right? And of course a new mayor, because I always feel that sometimes when you have people so long in a position or in a board, there's complacency, and that's with anybody. There's complacency, and so I'm excited. How do you feel about completing your council now? What kind of direction are you ready to take? How are you guys working? Has there been anything
Man,
interesting we need to know about on our end?
no, we're very excited as a council to have a full council. We needed that seat filled because you need that extra person to chime in, to give an opinion on the issues. And we're just happy to have a full council. It makes it easier for everybody. Right now, we have each and every one that's there. They're dedicated to the city. They all love the city of Eagle Pass and they want the best for the city. The good thing about our council is that we have a good balance. We have educators, we have real estate business people, we have a private business people in Mr. Davis, we have a mental health professional in Councilman Diaz, myself in the area of law. So we have a good mix, a good balance on the council, and we're just looking to make decisions to benefit the city as a whole. Sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes we make decisions that might not be very popular, but at the end of the day, we do have the best interests of Eagle Pass in mind. So we're happy to have Monica in our council and finally have a full government body in Eagle Pass. It feels good knowing that for the next 2 years, we're going to have that consistency of just having the same people there. And I'm sure we're going to mold and we're going to gel and we're going to do good things for Eagle Pass. We're ready to move forward and just work for the people. There's a lot of good projects coming up that the council is going to work on. Also, budget season is coming up. So we're going to start having a lot of meetings regarding our city budget. And of course, our new councilwoman will be part of that. And we will be, I always want to be transparent with the people. So we will share that information with the people of Eagle Pass. But it feels good to have a council. And your last statement about it's always good, also like change. And I agree with that also. I'm a big proponent of term limits. I'm glad we have them at the city. It's always good for somebody to be there, and then, at a certain point, you need somebody else to go in there and start fresh, because people do get complacent if they're there for too long.
Yeah,
But
yeah. As long as I was with the city, I mean, you notice something like that. Everybody always comes in a little gung ho the first 4 years. Now, back then, when I first started, there were 2 year term limits, and that's
right,
when it went into four. And I think it was a good idea, being that with 2 year term limits, you're barely getting in, and then the next year you're having to defend your seat or
right.
what have you, right? So I mean, I think that was a good direction with the city, giving 4 years, 4 years for whoever wins a seat to prove themselves, and then from there you have the next election.
Yeah, 4 years gives you enough time to get some good projects done. So now we have to show the people what we're gonna do, and that's my goal, to show the people of Eagle Pass that we have good projects coming, and to actually bring positive change to our community.
Absolutely. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to get into, Mayor, is it seems like this magazine for the city is getting a little bit of a weight behind it, and it's looking like it's being discussed. I believe the last council meeting, it got left off of maybe asking around for prices and see how much something would cost about that. Now, I'll go ahead and state my opinion first. Is me being part of the media now, it does feel that we're going to be a little bit put to the side or stifled or maybe overpassed and giving out news that typically news media has done for so many years. Now, my question is that I mean, I like to clarify things. Is that
Absolutely.
the way this is going, or what is the intent behind the city magazine that is being brought up in city council meetings?
Sure, sure. So the intent for this magazine is to get information out to everybody within the city limits. That's it. By no way was this is this meant to compete with our local news medias or newspaper. That is not the intent of this magazine, which right now we don't even know if it's going to be a magazine or just an informational sheet that we send to everybody. So the word magazine, it doesn't necessarily have to be a magazine, but the intent is to get information out to each and every household of people registered within the city of Eagle Pass. As you know, we have newspapers, local newspapers, and they do a great job at covering news for Eagle Pass and Maverick County. And like I said, the intention is not to compete with them, because that's not what we would do. And that's the last thing that we want to do, is compete with people that have local businesses. Again, I reiterate, the intent is just to get information out to each person in the community. So not everybody reads the newspapers, right? The newspapers, you have to go get them at the store. Not everybody has social media, Facebook. So we want to make sure that everybody's aware of all the different programs that the city of Eagle Pass has. Programs for help, for assistance, mortgage, rental assistance, all kinds of programs that we have for our veterans. We want to make sure that everybody's aware of that everyone's up to current events of Eagle Pass. So the intent is just to get information out to every household and not leave anybody out, because a lot of times we get calls and complaints where people say, "Hey, I didn't know about that. Nobody told me about this program." And we tell them, "Well, it's on our website. It's on our Facebook page, the City of Eagle Pass." And they say, "Well, I don't have a Facebook. Some people are elderly." So that's the intent. The intent is not to make an expensive magazine. The intent is not to cut out local media. It's just simply to get information out. And I agree with you. that I had my reservations as stated in the public city council meeting. We know that expense is a big factor. This went out just so that we could get some quotes from people. From if it's like a two pager, a 5-pager, etc. If this is a big expense, then that's not going to be justified, and that's something that I would not be for, right? But right now we're just looking at the options. So if it could be a 1 or 2 page thing where we send out to everybody and then everybody's well informed, that's what we want to do as a city.
Now, it kind of seems that you're looking for quotes as far as it being contracted out. Is there a possibility this could be done in house and maybe save on some of those costs, or is it something that's kind of understood that you're going to have to go out for a contract outside of the city? Because I know, I mean, we do. Back when I remember, a lot of the stuff that we did was a lot of in-house stuff, and that was
Right.
from the leaders that were there back then. How is this looking as an inside type of force account, or actually going out with a company and contracting one?
No, so what we did right now, there hasn't been any agreements. Right now, we're trying to see what it would cost if somebody
Okay.
from the outside wants to do it. So at that point, I would compare to see that cost versus what in-house, what it would cost the city. If that cost is too high, then we can't justify it, and it more than likely won't be approved. So we will do a cost benefit analysis, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Well, the Rising Texan was working on a newspaper, so just throwing that out,
Hey,
coming soon, right?
good stuff, Isaac. I mean, you all report very valuable news, just like the other people in the community. So keep it coming.
No. We thank you and all that, but okay. Now, the next thing we wanted to ask, you ran a strong campaign of against nepotism, against the compadre factor, against anything like that. We just want to. What we're curious about is there going to be policies in place? Because I know there is a policy in place currently with the nepotism, and it has certain levels. I think that was placed back before I was not with this. I mean, back when I was with the city. Is there anything retroactive? Is there anything being proactively done to prevent these kind of things, to make sure that we do have the best qualified people? Now, I'm not against the best qualified people being related to people that are there. I mean, if you're the best qualified, it is what it is. But there is a lot of past history where people that shouldn't have gotten chances and got chances, and whether they're doing good or not is not what I'm getting at. But what's the proactive thing to do here in preventing these things from happening again and again? Because I think that was a very strong message you had,
Right.
and it resonated a lot with our community, because that's all you do here. Is que no, pues el compadre, or I'm not gonna try to even apply porque ya se lo dieron a aquel, or like those types of mentalities, which I think that both you and I can agree that kind of needs to stop, so we can get the best team out there working for the city.
Yeah. So what I will do as a mayor is make sure that from my point, from what I can control, I can only control since the time I was elected on that kind of practice doesn't take place within our city. And I don't know. I mean, things in the past might have occurred, but that's something that I mean, unfortunately, I cannot control. So moving forward, we will be following that to a T, the nepotism ordinance, and we're going to make sure that we only hire qualified people for every position within the city of Eagle Pass. So that's something that I said during my election, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm all about fairness, man. A lot of people And I'll tell your viewers, people have contacted me and inquiring about available jobs, and I always say, you know what, the jobs are posted on the website. So if you're looking for a job, you're welcome to go to our human resources one, or go to the City of Eagle Pass website, and you can fill out an application. And that's it. I mean, I'm not here to do pull favors or do any funny business, because I'm against that. I'm all for, may the best qualified person get the job.
No, absolutely, and I think a lot of people are thankful for that, because I mean, it gives just opportunity to everybody, which everybody should be afforded the opportunity to apply without having some of these positions already predetermined
Right.
as the past. Of course, how you mentioned it was that you just came into the mayorship, so that is very understandable. And I think most of us here do applaud you for coming out with that.
No, and,
Um,
I hold myself accountable to the people of Eagle Pass, and you'll see in the next 4 years that won't happen.
Now, there's a thing we wanted to kind of discuss. Now, there's the infrastructure bill that's coming out from Washington, and of course, not the whole bill. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know every single thing about it, but there is details in there as far as targeting for suburban areas, which currently, since the new census hasn't come out yet, we're still considered as a suburban area. We're not an urbanized area just yet, and that may change with the next census. Of course, should be coming out shortly, right? But my thoughts on it is the part that, to my understanding, is that they do want to make changes, federal coming down to local level, for the single family housing, to some of the way real estate is handled here. They do want to change that dynamic. Now, that if it's tied into funding, I'm curious as to what your thoughts are on that. Now, the from what I hear, this funding would be tied to CDBG type funding, into changing different, like I said, planning and zoning stipulations, and the attempt to urbanize a lot, I guess, quicker or faster to urbanize suburban areas, which people like suburban areas. Now, I'm not saying that that's where we're going to stay forever, but I am curious as to where would you stand if some of this funding coming from federal had that stipulation behind it. So I guess it's a little bit of a hypothetical, right? Since it hasn't landed on your desk, of course. I was just curious, and a lot of people were kind of questioning if funds are kind of tossed at the city to move around their planning and zoning to accommodate what the federal agenda is. Where would that sit with our mayor?
Well, we have to see if it benefits the City of Eagle Pass first. I mean, I'm for getting any funds that we can get into the City of Eagle Pass. Right now, what we have control over right now is the funds that we're getting through the American Rescue Plan, which is $6.47 million. We know that we're getting that money. So right now, we've had city council meetings to figure out how we're going to use those funds, because we want to make sure that we help individuals and we help businesses, and we make that money stretch as much as we can, at the same time letting the people know how we're using each and every dollar of that money. Now, regarding Biden's infrastructure bill, I believe that is a 1.3 trillion dollar infrastructure bill.
Mm-hmm.
That's enormous. I did skim through it. I'm no expert in that bill. They haven't allocated any specific amounts to Eagle Pass, but we will look into that. If we can get some of those funds, then that'll be great. One of the things that I read regarding that bill is that it can provide money for shovel-ready projects. Mm-hmm. And here in Eagle Pass, we do need a lot of infrastructure. One of the important things that we've been talking about in the last 20 years is a road from Eagle Pass to Laredo.
Yeah.
I'm sure, was that a topic when you were with the city?
Oh, I mean, I think that's been going on for quite some time. I would say you're talking about 10, 12 years ago, even at the county level, where it was there, deals were being done, and it just never came to, to
Yeah.
come.
So that would be huge, huge for Eagle Pass. If you can cut down the travel time from Eagle Pass to Laredo to an hour and 15 minutes, that's great. That would bring in a lot of business to our local economy, and that would be just a game changer. Also, the completion of 480, Loop 480, that project has been approved. All that we need is the most important thing, moolah. So we need the funding for that completion. So I will be looking into to see if that infrastructure bill can provide funds for those kinds of projects. But it's very important, and we would have to see the terms to see what kind of restructure that bill comes as far as zoning type deal. So I will do more research and see how it can potentially benefit Eagle Pass. But right now,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The money that we have now, what the city council has had several meetings discussing the use of that American Rescue Plan money that has been allocated to the city to assist people that were affected by the COVID pandemic. So we should be getting those money soon. And we have discussed it in city council, and we do have a breakdown as to how that money will be used. And once that we receive that money, we will be informing the public so that they can take advantage of opportunities to apply for these funds. And maybe a lot of our community will be able to tap into that.
Now, I think that would be a great idea. I think that in the past, and I think this was it may have been before you were actual councilman. The city did apply for funding, but they applied for funding through EDA, and it was to benefit the city in repairing a building, refurbishing a building. And I like the idea. It's a good idea to refurbish a downtown area building that you guys do own to create a business incubator. Now, it is, in theory, an awesome idea. I love it. I know when I was there with the city, this was being tossed around at what we needed, just that the funding wasn't there. And then, good thing you guys got some funding, put an application together. I just didn't think it was the right timing for that type of grant. And again, I think this was before your time.
Well, it was actually when I got there, we were applying for this grant. Okay. But I'll discuss it once you're done. I mean,
no. I mean, now, I don't try to act like I know everything about economic development, but I think I'm real good as far as common sense comes. Now, common sense is you're in the middle of a pandemic, businesses are closing. There was other entities out there, of course, out of town entities that created revolving loans for small businesses that geared a little bit more to small business. Now, I'm not going to say the business incubator is not one hell of an idea, because it is. It was just ill timing in my perspective, because it does not help the businesses right now that are suffering.
Yeah,
which is what the EDA, COVID and everything. That's what it was geared for. Now you're going to have businesses that unfortunately are going to die. I mean, they really are. And that's that. It maybe it'll help them, 2-3 years later whenever this business incubator is up and running. It just didn't help them at the time when I feel that they needed it.
Right.
That's just my point on it.
Let me no, well taken. I always like to listen to people's points and I guess this is gonna be like the attorney side of me stating my opinion, right? So this the city of Eagle Pass does own the Riskins building. It was gonna take millions of dollars from the budget to get that building up to par and do something with that building. So the city of Eagle Pass, through its grants department, did apply for a grant through the EDA. They had to get a package together. You're familiar with grant applications, get information together. They sent it to the EDA, and long behold, the city was awarded a grant in the amount of $3.5 million. And of course, like, you know, these grants, when they're awarded, like in this case, by the EDA, and they have to be used for whatever they tell you. You can't get this grant money and go use it on roads. You can't get money and go use it on miscellaneous things. You have to use it how they want you to use that money. So whenever the city was approved and this grant was awarded, that's great for the city of Eagle Pass, because that's free money. That's money that was given to the city to, in this case, refurbish a building where now we're going to house an incubator, like you said, which will be able to house numerous local startup businesses that'll get their start there. And the goal is to start them there, and then eventually they'll go to a brick and mortar and grow and be successful. So this, my train of thought is that any grant is good. Why? Because it's money coming to the community. Now I'll get to your point, because it's very important. We have to help also and have programs for our local businesses, which the city did do that. We did have a program where in the midst of the pandemic, we were able to give grants to local businesses in the amounts of $3,000 to $5,000. Those were just temporary to help out with the rent. We understand that that's not a life-changing amount, but it's just something that the city was able to do. With this money from the American Rescue Plan, those businesses will be able to apply again for help. So even if they were awarded that money by the city during the pandemic, they can reapply for more funds coming up. But I feel you. I mean, I was real happy with that grant, because like I said, it's free money. So it wouldn't be responsible for us to say, hey, thanks for the $3.5 million, but take it back. We don't want it. I mean, it's.
No, I totally understand you, because that's the way I always thought, as far as whenever I would come up with opposition to a grant that I wanted to apply, where, well, the match is this much. It's okay, but if we get it, look how much we're going to get. So that's something to look at. I understand that. Now, one of the things is that they could have applied for a revolving loan rather than this. And I'm telling you, because I mean, that's that's what I do. So I know. Right. I would have liked to have seen that. I mean, I'm not criticizing you. Like I said, I think you were coming in when it was doing it. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen that. Now, one of the things that I will mention is that a lot of these businesses, they were already existing and they were hurting because of COVID. And I hope the city will take into consideration, as well as the county, if they do any kind of program, is the businesses that sprung up, not the ones that were existing just before, but the businesses that sprung up because of the pandemic. Because the pandemic did empty out our schools, it did empty out a lot of offices, and a lot of the people chose to start a new business. And I mean, I believe I got out of the county right before the pandemic, 2 or 3 months before the pandemic hit. So officially, because whenever I registered, it was after the pandemic. I started because, you try to do something, hey, it's coming out good, let me go ahead and, register it, do it legally. That came after the pandemic. So that made me ineligible for a lot of the SBA help out there. Now, I'm not sure about the particular, stipulations you guys have, because, of course, grant money to me is never free. because there are stipulations behind
Condition.
stipulations and work to be done for it. But of course, as a city, you guys go ahead and do it because for the benefit of the city, and I've always understood that. But I would like to see if there's any way if assistance can also be given to those businesses that came about because of the pandemic. I mean, I know teachers that went out and started their own businesses because of whatever. I mean, I went from a grant director in the county to leaving, starting my own business as a consultant, and also this news right now that we have, and I think there's a lot of similar stories in our community that are like that. So I mean, that's just something that came up into my head right now. So I wanted to discuss that, and hopefully there's something that can be done through the stipulations, because I do know whenever you get funding, there is a booklet of rules that you do have to follow. But
Right.
what's your take on that? Or
My take is that we have to incentivize people that want to start a business and push them to start a business. That's good for Eagle Pass. That's good for the economy. And the Eagle Pass, the city of Eagle Pass, we do have incentive plans in place where for example, there is one program that we have that if a person wants to open up a business, the city can help them with kind of what you said, a revolving loan program or a very low interest loan program where they can get a loan for their business, and it'll be at a very favorable interest rate. Some people start a business and maybe they don't have the credit to go to a bank and get a loan, right? But they have a real good business idea. So this program helps those people to make sure that they can get a loan at a very low interest rate so that they can start up their business. I do invite everybody to contact our economic development department. They do a great job in having these programs, and there's a lot. There's the facade program, which we want to make sure that everybody can apply for that, and programs that are not just for downtown, but for everyone in Eagle Pass, every business. That's very important, and that's we go back to that informational magazine or paper. That's one of the things that we were saying. Like, a lot of people don't know that Eagle Pass has a lot of incentive programs for local businesses that want to start up. So, and they don't know that because the information doesn't get to everybody. So that's one of the avenues. But I agree with you 100%, and we will find ways to help these people that want to start their business.
awesome, awesome. Well, I mean, we're not going to keep you too much longer. We do have one question that's come about through several people commenting and everything like that. And the I guess the first thing I do want to say before we even bring this up, I guess a disclosure is that it was kind of a hot topic coming from uh, the city of Eagle Pass, which I wouldn't say it's liberal, I wouldn't say it's a conservative, but it is a moderate community. And if I had to choose one or the other, I think it leans a little more conservative than it does to liberal. Recently, a lot of people did bring up on social media a little bit of a controversy with the rainbow flag being hung at City Hall. Now, if you, I'll go ahead and let you speak on it and everything. My thing with it is that, of course, disclosure. I mean, I have family members, cousins, boys and girls that are part of, they choose whoever, whatever their sexual orientation is, and I respect that. Just like they respect whatever I choose. Correct. And my take on it is that it's all good and well. I would like to see more proactive. Like I think the number one thing issue in our city, in many communities, like ours and unlike ours, is mental health awareness. I think that trumps anything. Now, I used to think it was the pandemic and then mental health. Now, I believe with the pandemic, slowly getting under control. I think mental health is the number one thing that everybody needs to be aware of and everything. And I'm not in this position to bash or criticize, um, but I do think that there's other causes that are more important than what your sexual orientation is or what you identify as, because I'll get that out there. At the end of the day, I mean, whatever you choose is what you choose. Mean you are still human beings. You know, it doesn't make you any better than me any better than you. What orientation, what race, and in my opinion, I believe it's being used a lot in the way race is being used to kind of divide us. And like I say, I have family members, and you know, you can ask my family members. I love them just as anyone else. I have friends. I have people I talk to on a daily basis that, you know, they choose whoever they want to choose, and it's not any of my business. And I understand being prideful for things you do, and I'm all for that. I just think that, in my opinion, and it's basically my opinion from also several comments that I've gotten, is that there may have been other causes that we need to celebrate as much as we did this, you know, putting up a flag and everything. And you know, I kind of understand that. Me, the whole LBG, you know, that movement, you know, I understand it. I just feel that it divides us in a way, the way race does. Because me, I mean, I really don't. I was raised whether you're black, white, red, purple. If you know you have 10 fingers or whatever. I mean, we're in the same place on this earth, you know, different circumstances, what have you. But that's my thing on it. I did have several people kind of questioning why isn't this being more made aware than this, and like I said, was that to me the issue of it is just dividing us as people. And I think that me between anybody else, that, you know, I mean, whatever sexual orientation is, does not define who you are or who I am or your preference. And a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot of people, there were some, and of course you always have those that don't say anything for fear of retaliation or backlash or anything. And it's not anything to say anything bad, right? But I mean, how did that come about? How was that approved? Is there any way we can possibly get together with a group and promote mental health awareness the same kind of way? I mean, maybe there hasn't been too much garnishment of excitement because mental health isn't an exciting thing, you know. But that was the kind of issue that was brought up by a lot of our readers. And I did wanted to bring it up to you. I mean, you're our mayor. It's not necessarily a simple answer to, you know, or thing to respond to, but I mean, I think a lot of people respect that you're willing to come up to the plate and give us some kind of comment on these things.
Sure. Let me start off by saying that I agree mental health is of extreme importance to the city of Eagle Pass. And we have highlighted the importance of bringing in resources to mental health. Everyone in the council is an advocate for mental health. We have a mental health provider in the council as Councilman Diaz, and we do advocate for mental health. We had Mental Health Awareness Month. It's very important. I myself, I'm passionate about that subject. We want to make sure that people get help, and our resources are limited. And we're looking into every way possible so that we can increase the amount of local health, mental health providers, so that we can help our community. So when you say mental health, the city right now, we're doing a lot. We're gonna invest some of this money, some of the American Rescue Plan money. A big chunk of that is gonna go to recruit a medical workforce, and will also be going to the area of mental health. So we've committed resources and money for mental health. I've been an advocate for that in my short time. I've also been a big advocate for like mental health for everybody in general, and also for our veterans. One of the things that we've been pushing is bringing in more resources for our local veterans. We have a large amount of veterans that need medical help, not just mental, but also with their disabilities or medical conditions. So one of the things that we're doing there is that we've already committed. I've spoken to the top people at the VA Veterans Affairs Administration, and they're coming down to Eagle Pass. So I want to kind of plug this because it's very important, and I'm going to get to the issue. I'm not, because it's very. This is a long-winded. I'll get to the flag, but I want to make sure that people know on your show, if any veteran is listening, please spread the word that on July 13th, we will be having a town hall here in Eagle Pass at the ICT. Right now, the tentative time is 4 p.m. So this is going to be a town hall with administrators of the Veterans Affairs office that are coming down from Harlingen to Eagle Pass to hear the concerns of our local veterans. So we need to have a big presence. That way, these people know that we care, that we want the resources. So we can't show up with 2 people there, because then they're going to keep ignoring us.
Yeah.
So please spread the word. Any veteran, we want to bring more resources. So that's very important. Now, as far as the flag and the pride parade, personally, I respect everybody in this community. When I was elected mayor of Eagle Pass, I was just that, elected mayor of Eagle Pass, and not of just a single group. So I'm all for following the law. I'm all for respecting everybody. I'm all for equality. When that organization, they did discuss it with me. They asked permission to put up a flag just during the time when they were having the parade. So it was limited, I believe, to like this was actually like one day that it was there. They had their parade. It was a respectful parade, and that's it basically. Honestly, I see it as a non-issue. It's more of I myself, I respect everybody in the community, everyone's opinions, or as long as you're within legal reason, right? I mean, you're not breaking the law or anything.
Yeah.
But as far as any other groups that want to have their flag, I mean, I welcome anybody to approach City Hall, and we can definitely discuss that. But I can see why some people would be maybe bothered, right, by that decision. But it was done out of respect for everybody. I think Eagle Pass is a city that's moving forward and is all about equal chances, equality for everyone.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you. I do say though that this town is moderate more than anything. Even leaning a little more conservative, because there is a lot of people that are confused as to both sides. They have not been educated properly as far as their values, their core values, and how it pertains to whether you're conservative, whether you're liberal. And I think that's where a lot of confusion has happened. And I mean, like I said, it did not come about as far as being an issue or anything like that. It was a concern that I have had for several people, and not that they were bashing that it was done. It was just, I guess, that they were not aware that they can do something like that for their cause. Which, sure. I mean, everybody has their own causes, and you know, I'm all for that. You know, that's what America was built on, is fighting for, you know, what you believe in. And I totally agree with that. The only thing is that I would disagree is using causes to manipulate any type of voting or anybody's mind or anything like that. I'm not saying that it was done in this case. I'm just saying I'm a strong believer because I mean we're already what are we in our upper 30s. I mean, when we were younger, we knew people like that, and this movement came about, you know, about in between as we were growing older. I don't think it was an issue back then, and you know, and I applaud, you know, people wanting to do that. My thing, and it makes a lot of sense when people did mention it, is that there's a lot of other causes out there that also need to be shined the same light. Not necessarily, hey, they shouldn't have done that, but other causes that we need to give that same kind of
Right.
awareness.
No.
And that totally, you know, that totally hit me in that way. But
Yeah.
I mean, we've held you a little bit too long, like we always do on these interviews, and we appreciate you being a trooper and answering everything we had, man. I mean, like I said, we weren't able to get the previous mayor ever to, you know, voluntarily come on one of these because the questions we ask are a little bit uncomfortable at times, and we appreciate you taking the time and answering these questions. But I don't know if you have any last minute words or anything like that to say to the public that's still watching right now.
No, I appreciate you inviting me on the show. It's been very informative. I always like to talk to the people of Eagle Pass, let them know a little bit of what's going on. We have a lot of positive things moving forward. And I invite everybody that wants to be involved in the community that has, like you say, any causes. Everyone is welcome to reach out to us, and so that we can promote good causes for the community. So we do have, like I said, we do have the 4th of July celebration. We invite.
Looking forward.
That'll be a good one. There's going to be a lot of people down there. Shelby Park, La Mafia will be playing, and I believe it'll start from 7 to after the fireworks are at 10 o'clock. So we invite the community to get out there, have fun, and be safe. And thank you, Isaac. It's been great, man.
No, Mayor, it's always a pleasure. Again, we thank you for coming on. You know, I know we have to kind of squirm around your busy schedule, which, you know, we totally understand. And again, we hope we can see you, you know, maybe about a month from now,
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. And you know, you're a well liked figure in our community, and our followers here are starting to grow again. And you know, you're a well-liked figure, and we want someone that is going to be transparent and is going to, you know, answer the questions that the public has, and we really appreciate that coming from you.
I'm just a man trying to do what's best for my community that's given me so much, and I look forward to coming back on your show. I'd like to come on at least once a month, so we'll shoot for that.
All right.
Well,
hey, you know, we're going to hold you to that, Mayor.
I know. I know.
But guys, thank you for watching, guys.
Thank
we
you.
have Mayor Salinas. Thank you very much, and we'll see you sometime within a month.
All right, we'll see you soon. Have a good night.
You too. Good night. Guys, that was Mayor Rolando Salinas. As you see, he was here ready to answer any question that we had to give him. A lot of the questions come from you guys, the community that has sent us these questions. So we appreciate that. It's a big help because, again, this platform is for the people, for our community, not only in Eagle Pass or Maverick County, but the surrounding community as well. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here to bring you, is to make sure whoever is in these elected positions that you voted for are doing the things that you guys voted them for to do, you know? And that's what we thank you guys for tuning in. Right now, we do have attorney Edgar Juarez about to join in a little bit later than the 8:30 time, guys. We're gonna have to knock down this feed, but we will come right back up with another one. So looks like we have 30 live viewers. You guys don't go anywhere. We're gonna have Edgar Juarez come on, attorney Edgar Juarez come on. He says he's ready for some hard questions. We don't have anything prepared for him, so we're just gonna have a conversation with him and see where that goes. All right, guys. So if you guys give us a 5-minute break, we're gonna be coming back on with Edgar Juarez, attorney here in Eagle Pass.